Hey, Ayurveda Everyday with Talia. This is Talia. Happy to be here with you today. My tongue's yellow. Ah. I ate some turmeric. Oh my goodness. I'm just seeing it on the camera how yellow it is. Turmeric is powerful. In India, some women, actually, this is something I heard. I never saw it myself, but some women would put it on their skin to like rejuvenate their skin, but I imagine for somebody like me, it would just turn me yellow. So, welcome. Hello. How are you? I feel like somehow I feel like I haven't been in my group for a little while, even though I know that that's absolutely not true. Um, but I have been doing this webinar the past week called My 5 Tell-All Secrets to Feeling Vibrant and Energized This Spring. And it has been amazing. It's been really awesome. And we've had, lots of people, lots of mostly women, showing up for that webinar, and it's just been great. So, one of the things I want to talk about today is spring cleansing, because here we are in the midst of when, if you have not yet started to cleanse or to think about cleansing or to get ready for cleansing, now is the time. And, this is especially true if your energy is low. And I'm going to tell little stories here today because I've had a lot going on in my own life. So, especially if your energy is low, especially if you have any sort of sinus congestion or infection or chronic runny nose, especially if you haven't been in touch with your hunger, you haven't been able to feel when you're hungry, or your metabolism has been slow, you want to be thinking about spring cleansing if you're overweight, if you've gained weight and you can't seem to shake it off, no matter what you're doing. Amy, you're everywhere. I love it. You want to think about cleansing if you're addicted or in a routine with certain foods that are not helping you to feel as, not helping you feel good. Even if you have allergies that you haven't been able to identify the cause or the source, if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, depressed, moody, this time of year, winter meeting spring, is a really tricky time of year. I keep saying that over and over again, but it just is. So if you think back, if you've been following me for a little while, then you'll remember that in the fall, when the fall started, it was like, okay, eat lots of foods that are grounding and wet and warm. It's okay if they're heavy foods. It's okay if they're mucus producing foods, because we need to build up this layer of protection for the blood, for the skin, for the internal organs as we move into the coldest part of the year, which was back, you're so cute, Amy, which was back in the fall. And now, 6 months later, more or less, we're at this other junction where now we're moving from the coldest, dampest, darkest time of year into spring and into summer. And we want that protective layer that we needed, physiologically needed in the fall and in the winter, we don't need anymore. Hi. But it's been building and accumulating, and it just keeps building onto itself unless you change the way that you're relating to your body and to nature by aligning yourself and your eating with the seasons. So cleansing at these seasonal junctions is really a way of course, of eating seasonally, but it's also about honoring your constitution, honoring the imbalances that are coming up for you. So like I said, you want to be thinking about cleansing if you've been really tired, your energy is low, you've gained some extra weight, you can't shake it off. It could be emotional weight, it could be psychic weight. You have allergies, you have chronic sinus stuff, you have inflammation. so many things. Like most of us at this time of year are either heavy or inflamed, or both. So to start moving out of that, I'm going to just share a couple things. So some of you know, we talk about doshas in here, especially if you did my Nourish Your Body with Ayurveda bootcamp, and you remember from day 2 that it was all about, what's your dosha and figuring out your dosha, your core constitution, and also your present imbalance. I'm Vata Kapha in my core constitution. When my teacher reads my pulse, it's Vata Kapha with low fire. So all the fiery energy that you feel coming from me, it could be because I'm a Sagittarius, but it's mostly because since I found Ayurveda, I have learned to cultivate my own fire, to cultivate my own energy, heat, whatever you want to call it. I call it energy. But I have learned how to cultivate that for myself so that the cold, dry, constipated, anxious, scattered Vata and the wet, dense, thick, slimy Kapha have some heat, have some circulation, have a way to move around the body without getting stuck, without there being a dam in my river of energy, without there being so much mucus, so much inflammation that I'm just drowning in it. So I have already started to take the steps towards beginning my spring cleanse. I'm not 100% in it, but I have been, over the past 2 weeks, I've been like, okay, let me do like an honest assessment of what I've got going on here. Like, I pretty much eat chocolate every day. I'm still putting, real half and half in my maca drink every morning. I'm not anymore, but I was until 2 or 3 weeks ago. Whatever, just looking at, like, I'm kind of in this routine of eating the same kind of foods because I'm busy and I haven't gone to the grocery store and I haven't been to the farmer's market yet. So I've stopped all that and I've really started just changing some things, like even with the chocolate, which for me, I don't drink coffee. I don't do a lot of stimulants, but chocolate is the one that I do. And I only buy like the most amazing chocolate in the world by Curacao, if you've never heard of them. Unbelievable, so good. My tongue is so weird that it's so yellow. Anyway, so I've let go of it. I haven't been doing it for a couple weeks, but I can't just let it go. I need to bring something else into its place because I have this habit that's, and my body and my energy is really like, no, I need something. Like, give me something at this time when I'm craving that. So I've changed it over to cumin, coriander, fennel seed tea with a little bit of stevia in it. So I still get this wonderful sweetness. I'm getting some really great hydration. I'm getting specific digestive support because cumin, coriander, and fennel seed are digestive regulating spices, herbs. However, that alone is not enough to shift this kapha accumulation that I can feel. I can see it on my body. Even though I practice Ayurveda all year long, I feel a little bit heavier. I can tell I'm like, okay, I'm like a few pounds heavier than normal. I can see it in my skin tone. Certainly can feel it with the mucus. And I don't need, because I'm Vata predominant, which is usually dry, I don't have a lot of congestive issues. I don't wake up with congestion every morning. But since we've transitioned from winter to spring, I can just feel like, I think I'm going to start using my neti pot every day. So I've been using my neti pot every day, even on days when I'm like, no, I don't really need to, but I just will. And the other day I did that. And I'm sharing this because I think this is really powerful and I'm hoping that you relate to it. I didn't feel like I needed to use the neti pot. I was feeling fine. I didn't have any sinus stuff going on. I was just like, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway. Just sort of had a little intuition. And as the water's coming in, up one side and out the other, it hit what I can only call a wall. And I was like, oh, like, okay, that hurts. And then it went from hurting to burning, and my eyes started tearing, and I literally was crying, which is like, oh my God, this hurts. It hurt in my ears. But it was like I had hit this wall of old mucus that it just was getting broken through with the warm water, the warm salt water from the neti pot. And I also put some nastia oil in it. And it just like, it was like this torrent behind it of mucus that had been trapped. And it's sort of like, I've been feeling it, feeling this heaviness, feeling like a brain fog, feeling like even if I go to bed early, a couple days of having a hard time waking up early. I'm like, I'm not trying to be so much like, why is this happening? I'm just like, okay, this is kapha wanting to be released. But if I wasn't doing all these practices, and I'm not even full on yet, where would this mucus go? Where would all this kapha go? It would just stay where it is and keep building and accumulating. And because excess kapha in the body is a block, a stagnancy, you're blocking the flow of energy to your brain, to your eyes, everywhere, to all of your internal organs. So it's so vital that we move this kapha. It can create inflammation. It can create a pressure cooker kind of situation. It can cause a dam in your river, which then all this vata energy can kind of build up behind it, where you're like, I don't know what I feel. I'm constipated. I have loose stool. I'm cold. I'm hot. Like it can exacerbate hormonal issues so much. So the reason why I'm so passionate about teaching cleansing is not because I think everybody's dirty and everybody needs to detox. I don't believe that. I think we can absolutely over cleanse and over detox. Hi. But Ayurveda helps you to not overdo it because it's so nourishing, it's so nurturing, and it's so much about listening to what's really going on. I just had an aha moment as you were talking about the mucus and neti pot. I need to use that to release this dam in my head. Yeah, no kidding. And it's not just using it once. It's using it until you don't need to use it anymore. And I promise you that your body will let you know when you don't need it, right? Like there will be a day, not too far from in the distant future, where I will do the neti pot and I will be like, oh, like there wasn't any excess to move. And then maybe I'll do it one more day and be like, oh, like I don't need this, right? Like you'll just be able to feel that if it's not moving something, then you don't need it right now. And you can pick it up a few days later if you need it, like you ate ice cream or, you did something where you're like, oh, oops, kapha is going to accumulate so much faster in this season than any other season of the year. And everyone needs kapha, but we don't need kapha excess. We don't need kapha stagnancy. What we need is kapha when it's in its healthy, pure form, which is a river running through a canyon, and the walls of the canyon and the river itself have a separation between them. It's earth and water, not earth water together making mud. So seasonal cleansing is so vital. I have a question. There's not only there are 7 of you watching, which I really appreciate, but go ahead, like raise your hand, type in the comments if you've already signed up for my RAD cleanse, for the RAD Cleanse Spring Detox. I just want to get a sense of who's here. But I want to, well, I'll wait. I have to wait a little bit to get the comments. There's a bit of a delay, but the RAD cleanse is something that I have been teaching for the past 10 years. It used to be called the 7-day Ayurvedic cleanse, and it was just 7 days. Now the cleanse is 2 weeks, but you can actually adjust it to be 7 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever you want. And the course itself is more like a month-long course. Yay! Where we spend the first 7 to 10 days just getting ready and getting prepared. So if you're not sure what your dosha is, oh, cool. Oh, good. So just so you know, is this Jill? I can't see who's commenting when I do my Facebook lives because of the way that I stream the live for you. So if you want me to know who's speaking, just put your name with your comment and I'll know that it's you. Otherwise, it just doesn't say anybody's name for me. But I see it later when I go back and answer questions in the comments on Facebook. Someone saying I'm having lots of extra mucus. Is it good to do the tongue scraping more than once a day? Sure. Why not? I would probably do it morning and evening versus just like any old time of day. But you could do it before you go to bed at night. It's most powerful in the morning. And kapha time of day is 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. So you could also do it twice in that period of time if you are awake that early and, space it out by like a couple hours. But anyway, about the RAD cleanse, the reason why I'm so passionate about it is as a certified Ayurvedic practitioner. Oh, hey, Martha. So as a certified Ayurvedic practitioner, we read pulse, right? And there's on the very top level of the pulse is where you read what we call the surface organs, or really they're your most forward top up digestive organs. So there's small intestine, stomach, large intestine, gallbladder. It's where you also read the bladder and the pericardium, but I'm focusing on the digestive organs. Those organs, small intestine, large intestine, stomach, gallbladder, they're surface digestive organs. Then you go down on the pulse to a deeper level, level 6, the way I learned it. That's where you read the deeper digestive organs. So the lungs are there, the heart is there. They're not specifically digestive, but of course they're related. The liver and the spleen and the kidneys, those are down on that lower level, deeper level. Those deeper organs, the health of them, the status of them, the quality of them cannot improve or change. This is your heart, your lungs, your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, and your circulation. They can't change until these surface organs change. And the root of health in Ayurveda is always tied back to digestion. So these seasonal cleanse programs, I just think that they are absolutely the most vital practice to have in your arsenal, whether you do it once a year, twice a year, 4 times a year. I recommend doing it 4 times a year, but I'll be honest, sometimes I only get to do my own 2 or 3 times, which is still good. But that seasonal cleansing, it's going to get those surface digestive organs to shift and change so that you can have deeper health. So when you're looking at autoimmune, chronic issues, anything to do with your liver makes histamines, your liver makes cholesterol, which your hormones are made out of cholesterol. If you're dealing with any kind of these hormone imbalances, digestive issues, you've got to change the quality and the health of these surface digestive organs first. And that is literally what we do in the RAD cleanse. And I just think it's so valuable. So, the way I see it, there are 3 primary pillars to the RAD cleanse that cause and create lasting change. So the first one is that you eat right for the season, and you don't just do it for a few days. You do it long enough to actually experience a shift. And while you're experiencing that shift, it shifts your lifestyle as well. So it has you get into like being more self-aware and doing the practices that really complement eating right for your body type and the season and your current imbalance. I've been talking about this in my webinar. It's not just like, I don't know, nothing about Ayurveda other than when we're studying it on paper is super cut and dry. We are complex human beings, and the human system, the human physiology is a complex system. So when you're trying to eat for the season that we're in, plus whatever current imbalances are arising for you, plus your core constitution, you need to educate yourself a little bit. you need to get into at least the mindset of like, okay, this isn't just cut and dry. It's really a moment by moment, day by day, what do I need now process that creates lasting change. And, one thing I've also been sharing in the webinar, like actually the neti pot story I just told is a great example. Like I couldn't feel the mucus. I could feel it in other ways, like through other symptoms, but I didn't know that it was like I had some trapped in the back of my throat or like, back here behind my sphenoid bone. I didn't know that that's where it was. And when I was in my 20s and I was chronically constipated, I was always cold. I vacillated between anxiety and depression constantly. Then I broke out in psoriasis all over my body. Until the psoriasis really happened, I didn't know that I could feel so much better. I was trying to feel better, but I didn't have like a belief system or a system of health and nourishment to support me that was like, oh, you definitely can. It's just a matter of fine tuning it until you get there. And then you're pretty golden. Doesn't mean you never have to work again. You do. It's a constant, balance is a constant exercise, right? Like we're always going out of balance and coming back into balance. It's an art, it's a skill. But when you clear a lot of that surface excess, your healing goes so much deeper. So the second pillar of the RAD cleanse is, it helps you to recognize imbalances and align back to vibrant health. Like we have sort of this marker for ourselves in the RAD cleanse of like, this is what health looks like. This is what health feels like. This is what we are calling our new homeostasis. Yeah, these Facebook Lives are always available inside of our Facebook group. To watch it from the beginning, you have to wait until I'm done with the live, but then they're in the video section of the Facebook group and you can watch them anytime from the beginning. So, recognizing imbalances and aligning back to vibrant health. The thing is that everyone, whether you're in your 20s or your 30s right now watching this, or you're perimenopause or you're menopausal, everyone goes through changes in their health and the state of their body, and everyone goes through unavoidable life changes. Like the season of life that you're in is unavoidable. That's just where you are, and you gotta move through it. And when it's a new season, whether it's a new season in the year or in a season of life, these unforeseen circumstances, what do I want to call it? I have some notes here, just like what I want to talk about. These inevitable shifts in how you feel, they can really rock your world. So I had a client, Sandy, she was somebody she's probably Vata, Pitta, Pitta, Vata. I don't remember because it was a while ago. I think she's Pitta, Vata. But she had never, ever in her life felt like heavy. She'd always been really light and energized and all this. And then she started going through perimenopause. And that's what brought her to come see me, because she was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but like suddenly I have this spare tire around my waist. I don't know how to get rid of it. None of the things I used to do are working. I'm feeling tired in the morning. I'm not having the same energy that I used to. Like, what is going on? And she was moving from one phase of life into another, the next one being perimenopause, and her body required something new from her. Every time we move into a new season, your body requires something new from you if you want to stay in health and be aligned back to vibrancy, energy, really good quality sleep, all of it, blood flow. And so we really helped her navigate her way back to wellness by recognizing these imbalances for what they are and giving her remedies that made sense for the season she was in and the season of life she was in. And I think within, it didn't take that long for her to be like, oh my God, it was almost instant relief once she started applying these principles. And the longer she applied them for, the more lasting and sustainable the change became. And then she also, again, what's that word? She armed herself with this knowledge, this empowering knowledge that moving forward, she can always lean back on. Now she knows when that kind of symptom arises, I might think it means this, but I know for my body, it really means I need to do this. And so she empowered herself with some long-lasting tools through that education and through applying Ayurveda to her life. And then the last, what did I want to say here? Sorry, just a second. I want to make sure I stay true to my notes too. The pillars to the RAD cleanse. So another pillar is just the power of giving your body a reset. So even I used to teach my cleanse program at this Bikram yoga studio. And I'll never forget this woman. I still don't know her name, but she was a yoga teacher, and I had just done her class and then showered and came out, and I was doing an orientation for the cleanse. And she was like, she kind of listened and she hung out. And then when everybody left and I was still there cleaning up, she came up to me and she said, I eat so healthy, I would never need to do this program. I'm like, okay. You didn't need to wait an hour and a half and listen and just to tell me that, you could have left if it's not right for you. But I remember her really specifically. And I remember thinking to myself, I get it, whatever. Not everybody wants to do this. I get it. But I remember just being like, but anybody can think that they have a really healthy diet and still be accumulating an imbalance, and whether they know it or not, whether the symptom is bad enough that you're going to wake up and be like, oh my God, could I possibly feel better? That's what happened for me with the psoriasis. These other symptoms weren't enough to make me go, wait a minute, this could be different. And when I looked at her, I remember thinking to myself, I can see that the tone of her skin and the tone of her lymph is not what it could be. So I don't know, I guess maybe I don't need to share this, but no matter how healthy your diet is, waste toxicity accumulates over time. It comes from environmental factors. Your liver has to process everything you see and hear, not just what you eat. And so it can really become a big block. And spring is liver gallbladder season. So, it's the most potent and important time of year to care for your liver. And your liver is basically your chemical processing factory. So if you don't give it a nice cleanse, it's just going to stop operating as efficiently as it could. And your liver is super, super important when it comes to your metabolism, when it comes to how quickly you feel like you're aging, when it comes to menopause, perimenopause, all manner of hormone imbalance, and also emotional freedom, because the liver is the home of anger. And believe me, the liver gets pissed off when it's not getting its needs met of clear me the fuck out. Please, I need it. I've been building up all this accumulation all winter long, doing my best to work for you and protect you. Now I need you to pay attention to me and give me what I need and do some clearing. So really powerful. And seasonal cleansing, especially through Ayurveda, because it nourishes you. It doesn't just detox you, it nourishes you. It is disease prevention. So again, you've got to cleanse those surface organs regularly for the deeper organs and the deeper tissues of your body to be able to shift. It's just how human physiology works. So the RAD cleanse is something that really helps you do that. And what else? I don't know. I guess that's kind of it. I mean, I want to make sure that everybody in here is really taking advantage of the resources that I offer. And I make a really big effort to, have the courses and the programs that I offer be either free or be priced in a way that pretty much everyone can afford it. And if you can't spend $200 or $300 on your health at least once a year, that's a problem. And I really invite you, you've got to look at that and got to be like, what the heck? My health is worth this, at least. So one thing that I've done for the RAD cleanse, and I'm telling you because you're my special peeps in this group. So if you haven't catched my webinar, then you don't know this. And if you have caught my webinar, then you're hearing it for the second time. But the RAD cleanse, the doors close on Monday, April 15th at midnight Pacific time. So I have a whole bunch of bonuses that I've been offering for people who sign up sooner than later. The bonus, if you sign up today, between today and Sunday, is you are going to get an Ayurvedic aromatherapy guide to optimal digestion. You're going to get 6 live Q&A calls with me in the RAD cleanse. You can literally ask me anything. You're going to get a community Facebook group that holds you accountable and gives you unbelievable support and motivation and inspiration. Again, you can ask all your questions in there and have them answered. Everyone here is on Facebook, but even for people not on Facebook, we have a membership site for this course where people can ask questions inside the membership site and never go on Facebook and still be part of the community and still get their questions answered. You also get a kapha reducing meal plan. You also get a Ayurvedic breakfast makeover guide. But you get those things if you sign up by Sunday night. By Sunday morning, because not all those bonuses will last beyond Sunday morning. So truly, if you sign up sooner than later, you get the most. Those of you who signed up days ago or even weeks ago, you're going to get every single bonus that I offer to anybody because you signed up so early. I'm just like adding them on to your account as I move through the time leading up to when the cleanse begins. And the last thing that we've done is we have offered $100 off the course. So the course, when you add up all the bonuses and value of everything, it's almost $2,000. I only charge $397, and then you have a $100 off coupon code even off of that, and that is I am RAD 100. Maybe somebody can type it into the comments because I can't. But it's all capital letters. I am RAD 100. So really, this course is only $297, and it's a self-paced course. You'll have access to it for 90 days from the date it starts on April 17th. You can go at your own pace. You can make the cleanse last the whole 90 days if that's where you're at. You can do the cleanse, take a break, come back and do it again. You have access to all of these incredible materials, videos, audio, all kinds of recipes, downloads, planners, yoga, meditation. It's amazing. So I don't want you to miss out. And I'll give you a sense of like what a day of the RAD cleanse looks like and feels like. It's so in the morning, you may choose to do I am RAD 100, not 200. But thank you for posting that. So on the every day, thank you. So every day we do a morning drink. And over time, because the course unfolds over the course of the 30 days. Thank you for posting the coupon code. Every day as it unfolds, throughout the days as it unfolds, There are body care practices that I invite you to try on. They are optional, but they, of course, deepen the detox experience. And in the spring, they're all spring specific. Everything we do in the RAD Cleanse is specific to the season that we're in. It also sets you up for greater health in the season that's coming, not only reducing the accumulation from the season we just came out of. But you wake up in the morning, you have some kind of new self-care routine that you get to come up with based on my teaching. Then you do your morning drink. You eat when you're hungry. You have so many options about what you get to eat. You have this way of approaching your meals where you're like, okay, I'm really listening to what my body needs. I'm chewing my food completely. My digestion is improving. The more that you start to feel better, the more you watch these cravings that you're used to having disappear, the more energy that you have, the less inflammation that you have. Like literally day by day, this is what happens. So you have a nourishing meal when you're hungry. Maybe you do another self-care practice. It's totally optional at that point. You do another medicinal drink. I call them DMDs, daily medicinal drinks. They're super yummy. They're super pleasurable. You do another one in the afternoon, so you're making sure you're taking care of your kidneys, giving your liver a little bit of extra love, definitely thinking about the digestive organs. Then it's time, you're hungry again, and you eat this beautiful, nourishing meal again. And you're really just throughout the day, you are so much more in tune with yourself, and you're so much more in tune with nature. So yesterday I went grocery shopping, and actually I'm going to post a picture of it in our group. I was just like giddy because I was just getting ready for this spring cleanse and just knowing and just transforming the foods I'm eating to match what's happening for me and the season I'm in. I mean, it was just truly exciting. And yeah, I just brought home all this amazing food that I'm so excited to eat, and that every day that I keep eating it, I'm feeling better and better and better and better and better. And I haven't even officially started my cleanse yet. So anyway, I hope that today's Facebook Live is useful. I really obviously believe in this program, and I would love for every single person in Ayurveda Every Day with Talia to be living Ayurveda on that deep level that we do in the RAD Cleanse. It's really, in certain ways, it's like the Nourish Your Body with Ayurveda boot camp. It's like the real boot camp where you're really trying it on. You're really experiencing how transformational Ayurveda can be, not just for a week here or a week there, but for an entire season, and even for weeks and months to come beyond that. So thanks so much for everybody who's watching. I always appreciate you being here. And oh, there's one angry face. Not sure what that's about. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. And if you have any questions about anything that I've shared, definitely ask me in the comments. And you can ask me anything in our Facebook group anyway. All right, see you soon.